Right, so welcome back to Adventure 82. It's not obviously a out and about video. You can see I'm sat on a sofa. Um, the last video to come out was right. We had RAF Manston the week before, and then last week you had the Fan Bay Deep Level Shelter. So you haven't heard from me since I filmed in Kent, which, as I'm talking to you now, is about 6 weeks ago. Because I'm filming this the Sunday you're watching it, the Sunday it's released. So as I'm filming this, it's maybe about like 4 hours or so before this video goes out. I've not done much since. As I am filming this, my mum was just over a few weeks prior to this, and before that we went away with the kids, which I mentioned during the Kent videos. And since then, that's left me a bit kind of burnt out. My anxiety levels have been through the roof. We went to Tesco the other day. And I had to stop several times to get a breather because I started getting all hot and sweaty and what have you. The anxiety's at its all-time high again. And my mental health's taken a massive dip, so I don't even have the drive to go and do anything. I've been wanting to for ages go down, and I've been meaning to all summer. I say all summer, for the last like 2-3 weeks, go down to Thrust Cross Reservoir and film down there. I just didn't have the, I suppose, drive. Maybe I gave up too easy, I don't know. I couldn't get myself to go. Even Erica tried to convince me to go, and I just couldn't find it in me to. I've been struggling to see a point in anything. I've even been questioning the channel itself, so my head's not been in a good place. I'm due to go and talk to the mental health nurse on Wednesday this week, because I was signed out of all that back in July. So the way it's worked is she put me in touch with a group called North Yorkshire Talking Therapies, who are lovely people, and they were helping no end. The problem is that in July, because it goes up in like 3 stages, and I've been through all 3 stages, got to the end of stage 3, and they kind of just discharge you, and then it's up to you to sort it out yourself. And with the best will in the world, and the stuff they've taught me, which I do still try and use it on a regular basis, for how often my head plays up it's not been working. So yeah, I kind of buckled under the pressure, unfortunately. While I'm doing this normal video, I also want to clear up something. The last time I did a video like this about my autism, my anxiety and depression, because I suffer from all three, the anxiety and depression come from the autism and the failure to understand certain situations and unable to deal with certain situations. The last one I did, which I did up on Leyburn Shore, which was to do with, what did I call it? I think I called it something along the lines of, did North Yorkshire, moving to North Yorkshire, help my mental health and autism, something like that. And I mentioned in there how difficult it was going through the process of universal credit and stuff because of how stressy it was and how much it worked, and to put across how anxiety inducing the whole process was. But it seems to have been taken, as he says, puts in your tiny phone camera. I'm filming this on my phone, you see, as me complaining about being on benefits, or complaining they're too hard to apply for. And well, as for them being too hard to apply for, they're difficult to get, or some people would argue not difficult enough to get, for a reason. You know, they're meant to be, especially universal credit, as far as I'm aware, it's meant to be means tested. But I don't want to be on benefits. I worked for what I was either working with, I was working from the age of 17 until 2023 in some shape, size, or form. By which time in 2023 I would have been 41. In some shape, size, or form, apart from a gap in a year gap, where I was at college trying to learn to be an electrician, and that didn't go well. So I'm not a stranger to work, and I'm not scared of working. Would rather not be on benefits, but with everything that's happened, look how awful my hair is. Can't you tell I'm going bald? Yeah. It just didn't work out that way. So 2023 left me in a very different position, feeling like a very different person. I still am. I still feel different now. Even when my mum and my sisters came over, I felt massively different. I felt like I was a different person to them. I don't know if I felt like it to them, but to me I did. I'm still searching to find bits and pieces. I'm still trying with help to get that autistic diagnosis that I was going to get in Jersey that nobody in the NHS seems interested in giving me. So, the problem is all these things happened at once, and it means a constant change of routine. So there's one routine for when me and Eric were away in Kent. There's a different routine when my mum and my sister came over, and there's a different routine again when we went camping with the kids, and then there's a different routine again after they've gone, and then a couple of weeks after that the routine changes again because the kids have gone back to school, and my brain doesn't process routine change that quick. That's one of the reasons why the general 9-to-5 job doesn't work, because there's no routine in it. I mean, there's a basic routine, the fact that like you turn up on like a Monday to Friday, but that's it. The hours flicker and move around, your day off moves around, and that's what I can't, apart from other things, I can't process around, and I can't do crowds or anything anymore. RAF Manston was an awesome video, and I enjoyed making it, but that day was completely ruined by me. Because after we'd finished filming it and we got back to the hotel, me and Erica had a falling out, and it was all because of me. I couldn't understand where she was coming from on a situation, and the situation to me was so black and white that I couldn't see what she was saying, and it just all went wrong, and it happens more often than I would like. I'd love to be able to understand people more. I'd love for my understanding to be deep enough that I don't make life difficult. If it ever works out that way, that would be nice. That's one of the reasons I'm trying to do all this stuff with a mental health nurse and stuff, because it helped me see things from other people's perspectives, which I don't or can't naturally do. Some things I can because I've been in those situations before, but otherwise. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So yeah, there's not been any videos out because I've been struggling to get myself going again. So I'm feeling a bit better. I feel like I've got slightly more headspace than I had before. So I'm hoping to kick myself out and about some point this week to go and do stuff. Eric is adamant we're going out this week, so I fear I may not have the choice this time. But yeah, it's just been stressy. It's been difficult. The problem with autism and depression, especially when they meet each other, it becomes a bit of a deep hole. You feel it's confusing. It's like two sides of a dice. So on one side, you can see the kind of logic side of things, the side that you're taught to see as like a child or whatever. And then on the other side, you've got your kind of autistic part of your brain that's telling you that that's not happening, that doesn't compute, we're not doing that. So you end up with a fight going on in your own head, and it happens more often than you would think. Um, and quite often, the people who have that problem, they're not. You wouldn't even, like myself, when you're looking at me, you wouldn't necessarily know. I'd just be look perfectly normal, but inside there's a massive internal fight going on, and it never seems to end. And you get tired and bored and fed up of fighting, and it breaks you down. And so you have times where you just wish that it would go and just leave you alone, and you want to just quit and tap out and give up. And the reality of the situation is you can't. You can't. If I would have quit and tapped out a lot of time ago had I not had the kids in America, that I can guarantee you. They keep me going more than they'll ever know. Um, but yeah, so it's been a tough couple of weeks. Right, yes, it's been sorry, it's been a tough couple of weeks. I'll be back next week with something historical. I promise. Um, Also, just before I disappear, I did a poll a couple of months ago now. I think it was. Um, Asking people what they want to see on the channel. Now, only about 12 people voted on it, so I didn't get an awful lot of feedback on it. But the highest rated thing was actually vlogs, like camping and vlog style videos. So I might start doing a few videos of me and Erica just out and about in like Leyburn, Catterick Garrison, that kind of stuff. If that's the kind of thing you guys want to see. Because especially throughout the winter time, a lot of the historic stuff like the mines, the mills and stuff, you can't, well, you can access, but it's going to be really difficult, and a lot of those land areas are going to be flooded, so I'm not going to be able to get to them. I'm hoping to sort out the truck for camping. It's now got an MOT, so it's now, it's got a new MOT. It's now up and running. Massive thanks to Handleys in Midland for that. They're now going to help me work through the faults that it had on MOT, of which there was a few, nothing major though, which is quite nice. And I have a speedo now, which if you recall when I first showed you, the speedometer doesn't work, and I have a working speedometer. But otherwise, I'm going to continue to start to boot myself up the backside and get myself going again. I'm sorry I've let you down this week as far as the video is concerned. You guys all take care of yourselves, so never think that I've forgotten about any of you. And just before I leave, and I've only just remembered because I'm a scatterbrain, the community section now of the Adventure 82 page is now open, so you guys can now talk to yourselves, and me as well if you want to. For some strange reason, if you want to talk to me, you can. On the Adventure 82 posts on the community section, you can post stuff on there now, of stuff you either want me to look at or you think is interesting or goes along with what the videos are about, which it's a far stretch from what it was. It was meant to be, it started off as what did it start off as? What's the best way to describe it? Collating and preserving Jersey's history before the states demolished it and there was nothing left, and to tell you what had already gone. It's progressed into a bit of everything. It's progressed into outside adventures in general, whether it be camping, visiting somewhere that like you guys can go, exploring somewhere that you might not be able to go or that you can't reach, you didn't know was there, down to just sometimes me like this explaining about my autism and stuff to try and help others, and to let you guys know what's going on, obviously, because you deserve to be in the loop. But yeah, I've sorry I've let you down this week. I will do my utmost, I promise, to have you something proper next week. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you all soon. And if you have any suggestions for what you'd like to see on videos throughout the winter, do let me know, and I'll see you soon. Take care.